Okay, a very quick walk around video of this Jeanneau Sun 2003 model that we have for sale here at Preston Marina. This video was shot on Friday, May the 9th, 2025. That's today. Lovely sunny day. The original tailcoat in pretty good shape. Say if somebody wanted to, they could spend a day or so buffing that and make it pretty well perfect. But if you just want to go sailing and have a attractive looking boat, I would say she's pretty well already there. Huge cockpit on these boats. We'll go on board in a moment. We'll just continue the little lap around the exterior before we go on board. The trailer's in good shape. We have serviced the trailer in October, and it hasn't done a single, well, it might have just moved around the yard a tiny bit, but it's not been on the road or certainly not done any launching since. So we're happy that the trailer is ready to roll. And yes, the wheels on it are these high load wheels. They're if you look at these wheels, they're not your average lightweight trailer tires. This is good chunky heavy duty stuff. So okay, so just stand back and have one last look there, and then we'll go on board now. So the decals there are a little bit imperfect, shall we say, but other than that, the exterior is holding up pretty well for, what is it, 22 years old, something like that. Anyway, here's the cockpit, big cockpit on these boats, which is always nice. I think this port locker, has got the outboard fuel tank and a hand bilge pump, etc. The outboard itself, which goes on that bracket there, we've got in storage indoors in our workshop, and again it's been serviced. It's a Tohatsu 4-stroke, I think it's 6 horsepower sail drive, and that means it's got a high thrust propeller, and it's got a charging circuit which plugs into there, if memory serves. The plug down there is for the tiller pilot, so yeah, so that's for the outboard charging circuit. This is just an empty cockpit locker at the minute, where you put your warps and your fenders, which are down below at the minute. But there is the connection for the 240 volt. It's so sunny I can't just see my own screen, but I think you can see the 240 volt connection there for a basic shore power circuit, which is got below. Moving forward, NASA instruments, that's a wind speed direction, and the Clipper Duet, which is speed and depth sounder. These nice Harken sheet winches, which all comes back to the cockpit. This is the bracket for the hand bearing and steering compass. It's a removable compass, which works well as a steering or hand bearing compass. Walking forward on deck. Oh, and the rig, I think this rigid vang is an optional upgrade. It's got a topping lift, but it's also got the Barton rigid vang there, which is nice. Let's just have a look. We've got a pretty big, for the size of the boat, a good sized Bruce anchor and a good chunk of chain, and in that bag I think is probably a big mooring. Yeah, I guess that's 14 mil or thereabouts, so certainly ample ground tackle for a relatively small boat. I'll just get the furling line out of the way. The sails are folded up and off the boat down below in the cabin for storage, which is why the furling line is not leading all the way after the cockpit as it would in use. But as I say, it's all just part of rigging up ready to go sailing. It won't take long. Let's go and have a look down below. Main sheet tackle. Okay, so this companionway, I've already sort of popped it up just to get some air through the boat. Let's go down below and have a little tour of the cabin, which won't take very long because it's a very simple little boat, but that's one of the joys of it. So right, so we're looking forward now. You can see the anchor chain locker coming into the cabin there, but just to the starboard side is the table, which you can either have here in the cabin or out in the cockpit for a bit of al fresco dining. There's the rudder, there's the tiller that goes with it. This is a tiller tamer, like a very simple way of clamping just a line on the tiller to hold it in place, but this is the bracket for the electronic tiller pilot, which is here, Simrad. That's the aforementioned hand bearing compass, which is also a steering compass. basic little electric panel and a little table there, chart table. And on this side you've got well, the simplest of galleys. You've just got basically a basin, fire extinguisher under there. But again, simplicity is the key. A porta potty there. There's an infill cushion to make that a double. Then coming back, we've got the speakers for the stereo. It's cassette stereo, wow. 4 fenders and mooring lines. This little plastic box has got a toolkit, and these are the side spray dodgers for the cockpit. There's a ensign flagpole up there. If we look back here, I think you can see the circuit breaker and isolator switch for the battery and for the 240 volt circuit coming in. And then if we come aft, if we come over to the starboard side and look aft, you can see the shore power sockets up there, and just down there, if you look, you can see a battery charger. So that's all from the 240 side. Here we've got the canvas for the boat, so the sails are in great shape. This is the main sail, nice and crisp. And then we've got the furling Jeanneau in here, which again, it's in lovely condition. And what we have here, this green is that I think will be just a mooring line or a jib sheet, perhaps. I think the jib sheets are over there, so yeah, that'll just be a mooring line. That's a cockpit cover, a horseshoe buoy. These are the stacker bags for the lazy jacks, and that's the mast boot for the lazy jacks. Radar reflector just perched up on the shelf there. And I say that I'm sitting on the starboard quarter berth and the port quarter berth, both very good size single berths actually. You know, I wouldn't describe them as a double, but certainly a good size single berth. But let's say the overriding thing I would say is just how dry how dry it feels. So it's not got any evidence of any leaks around hatches or the hull deck. If you look between the hull and the deck, there's no streaks. There's no signs of any water getting where it shouldn't, which is always nice, especially on a boat with a few years on it. Yeah, it feels great. It's nice and dry and clean and welcoming, and okay, cluttered because all of the stuff's down below, but with the sails up and the rudder on and this tidied out, she is ready to go cruising. But there we go. I hope this little, not exactly a cinematic masterpiece, I accept that, but hopefully this little video is helpful in giving you an impression as to what this Jeanneau Sun 2000 is like. That's the uphaul for the centerboard. Again, nice simple mechanism. So all good. Hope this is helpful.